What if I told you there was something you can do today as a complete beginner that would put you 10 steps ahead of your competition for building a really successful cleaning business in your area? Sound like something you'd like to know? Well, then stick around, because in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that. Again, especially if you're a beginner. But first, what is going on if you're new around here? My name is MikeMak, and over the last 10 years, my wife and I have built 2 wildly successful cleaning companies in 2 separate states, and now I'm on YouTube helping good folks like you build your very own high-ticket automated cleaning business. Now, this is a very important video, but if you haven't watched the first 2 videos of the series, I highly recommend it, because some of this stuff I already laid out in those previous videos. All right, for everyone else, let's get into why it's important to separate yourself from the competition. So the reason why this is a must to succeed with your company is because the barrier of entry to start one of these businesses is so incredibly low. Just think about it for a second. Let's say you want to open up a restaurant. There is so much that goes into actually opening up a restaurant or a nightclub or a gym. There's tons of education, licensing, and tons of money to actually get this thing off the ground. Now, for a cleaning company, what do you actually need to get this thing off the ground? Those of you who watched the last video, you know the answer is not much. So even though that's a benefit, the downside is it creates a lot of competition. But never fear, because if you know how to separate yourself from the competition, you don't ever have to worry about competing on price like everyone else. See, majority of this industry, the way they actually stand out is by having the lowest price. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to be the lowest bid just to win my contracts. So at this point, you're probably like, okay, Mike, sounds good. You're right. I want to charge what I'm worth. I want high profit margins. How do I do that? Well, you do that, my friend, by becoming the unicorn. Yes, you heard that right. I want you to become a mystical horse. No, but specifically, you need to look at all of the competition of cleaning business owners out there and their companies the way your customers look at them. There is this huge field of just horses, and they all have the very typical colors that horses have. Now, you as the business owner who is just looking for a great provider that's going to take care of them, when you're looking at this field, how do you know who's the best one for your space? Well, the answer is you really don't, because no one's done anything to separate themselves. You know why? Everyone is saying the same stuff. Everyone is saying, we're the best in town. We're the best cleaners. No one cleans like we clean. And all that does is create noise for your customers. Now, I want you to picture that same farm, but this time your unicorn company is there. So while everyone is competing on price, you are showing that you are very different than everyone else. So because of that, they understand that they're gonna be paying more to work with someone like you, because you've demonstrated to them that you are completely different. So the $1 million question from here is, sounds good, Mike, you got me. How do I become a unicorn? Well, get your pen and pad out, because it's time to go. I spent the last 10 years in this industry as a business owner, and another 10 years on and off working for other companies. And so in my total 20 years of experience, I've just noticed this trend that no one puts that much effort into their brand. And now some people do, but it's not the type of work that would actually separate from their competition. Most of these companies, what they ended up doing is just spending a lot more on things like a website, social media design, things of that nature. But none of that stuff really moves the needle, because I got news for you. You can spend $2,000 on a website, still completely miss the mark when it comes to getting these clients to raise their hand and say, I have to work with you. So the first thing you want to do is have a name that is completely different than what's out there. And don't get me wrong, you don't have to come up with a name that no one's ever heard of before, but you just don't want to use your initials. You don't want to use something that didn't take much thought. Put some thought into your name. Don't just be ABC Cleaning. The same thing is, you want to make your tagline. Every company should have a tagline, and that tagline is a perfect opportunity to tell your potential clients that I am the right person for you. We are the right company to take care of your needs. Instead of taking that line and using it to brag about your company, take that line to really signal to your customers that it's like, hey, this is exactly what I'm looking for. And you can do that by just taking a short line and just making it just about them and their space. To give you an example, my cleaning company is Leave the Cleaning to Us. The next thing you want to do is figure out, who do you want to target? Do you want to target these large offices? Do you want to target high ticket offices between 5 and 10K per month? Or do you want to target small little offices and then just stack up tons of them? Now on this channel, I only talk about high ticket because I don't want those skyscrapers. You can have them. Those 2 or 3 monster cleaning companies in your area, they have the jaws of life on those accounts. And then everyone else is vying for these smaller, low ticket accounts. Not me. I want high ticket, high profit. So I focus on 5 to 10K per month. So let's just say you're on this channel for that. Then essentially those clients look like car dealerships, private schools, larger churches, larger medical offices, just larger facilities in general that get a lot of foot traffic. A great place to start is maybe by targeting one, just so your messaging, which is the next thing we're going to talk about, your messaging has to feel very specific to them. So don't worry, this is very simple. The messaging is simply, if you are talking to medical offices, you don't want to call it a business, you want to call it a practice. Little things like that. Just know who you're talking to and just think about their struggles and what their goals may be. So let's just say the medical office, you're talking to a practice manager. That practice manager wants to streamline things more, wants to simplify things, and bring their stress levels down by not worrying about the cleaning. Versus the car dealership, where they're just trying to grow every month and then break last month's sales record. And the way cleaning is going to help them do that is by them not having to worry about a sale that's almost done and then this customer goes into a bathroom and it reeks of urine. Believe it or not, little things like that can cost you a sale. And this is the stuff that we put into our messaging. This is going to get their attention. This is going to get them to say, you understand me. You are definitely the right person. All these other people who've been cold calling me, cold emailing me, they're just pitching services. You are on a whole nother level. Once you've done that, you want to reverse their risk with a guarantee. Now, think about in their area. Look at all the one-star reviews for all your competition. What are people complaining about? Take that complaint and then I want you to build a guarantee around that complaint. So just to give you an example, in my area when we started this cleaning company, the biggest problem seemed to be the inconsistency of when people were showing up. So I went ahead and just built my guarantee around that, which meant if we no-showed you without notice, we would not only credit you the night, we'd credit you the entire week, which scares some folks, but think about it. It's never gonna happen providing you are on top of your game. Now that guarantee alone has been responsible for me landing several high-ticket clients, because I completely put their mind at ease that we're a professional company and they're never gonna have to deal with the nonsense that they had to deal with the other companies. All right, so what we just covered, these are the very, very, very important aspects of being a unicorn. Now we're gonna get into the little less important, but they are still important, so take them seriously. And the first thing is having a professional logo. Legitimately, you don't have to go out there and pay a graphic designer $500. You can go to fiverr.com, but just check their work. Now I know a lot of people out there are just looking to save a buck and they'll just say, well, no, I can create my own logo. Yes, I've been there, but just don't. This is one of those few things I'm going to tell you right up front, you should invest the money. And what I mean by that is 150 bucks, maybe $200. That will be a huge difference between something really pro and then something that looks like somebody with no experience made it. The next thing you want to do is make a very simple, I would say high ticket website, something that is just simple. You don't need something with all the bells and whistles, just something that's very clear what you do, how to reach you, and what services you offer. Don't worry if you only offer general cleaning, that is no problem at all. Just make sure you're very upfront about that. The last piece of this is just setting up your social media accounts. Just make an account for everything. It's gonna help you with your organic reach. And if you provide all of what I laid out in this video, congratulations, you're officially a unicorn. But when it comes to getting high ticket clients consistently, this is just one half of the bridge. The second half of the bridge is how do we reach out to them in a way that's gonna get them to see that we are very different and get them calling you so you don't have to desperately call them. Don't worry, I got you covered. Check out this video right here and I'll see you on the other side.